After years and years of grifting, lying, making fake donations, pretending to be this caring woman, Meghan Markle she has finally hit a wall. And this is a wall that is not going to crack. This is a wall that is not going to crumble. And this wall is none other than Prince William and his beautiful Princess Catherine. I think that to say that they've had enough is an understatement. But all of this was brought on by Meghan Markle and Harry himself. You know, him sending little letters to Prince William congratulating him for being, made the head or whatever of the Order of the Bath. I can imagine that they were seething with rage and envy because Harry in his head thinks that should have been him. That's how sick this man is. I know, and I've heard a lot of you feel sorry for him, and I still don't understand why you feel sorry for Harry, because Harry is a grown man who's made his choices, and his choices have been to betray his family. And Meghan Markle has been the catalyst that propelled Harry into who Harry really is. He doesn't like the picture he sees. That's up to him. It's not nice sometimes to look at himself in the mirror. And this is what's happening with Meghan Markle, because they took it a step too far now. Because what they're claiming right now in the newspapers are pandering to, is textbook fraud. That is textbook fraud. That's stealing from Peter to give it to Paul. And that's what just happened. And we are here to talk about it. But before we do, I really want you to take a very good look at this video, because we have to have a serious discussion about what's happening here.
But I think I am delighted to announce, I'm sorry, sir, that Her Royal Highness is the winner. I can't.
I'm going to take any pressure to mine. Well, if I may, yes.
If only that stupid barometer or whatever it was could have stayed in place for a couple of seconds longer. What do you think happened here? Do you think that Prince William, chivalry is not dead? I just love this clip, guys, because it shows the interaction between them. And Princess Catherine is just like, oops, she got caught for being faster, but William, as always a gentleman, allowed her to have the award. Do you think he did right, or do you think he was wrong by allowing his wife to keep the award in spite of the fact that that stupid thing didn't stay in place when it should have? It was such a beautiful thing to watch them both there, and she looked impeccable. That's what I want from my princess. I really do. I know that people are going through hard times, but when you see the princess show up looking this gorgeous, it kind of reminds me of Princess Diana, because Princess Diana showed up to the opening of an envelope looking fabulous, which is why the press followed her everywhere. And this is a power that she managed to harness to do good. And I think that Princess Catherine, rather than shying away from it, should fully embrace the crap out of it and just say, okay, I'm going to look my best, my fabulous. I'm going to tell you who I'm wearing, because then the whole press is going to show up to every engagement she goes to, and then she can truly highlight. Yes, of course, I will be talking about her clothes, but she will be highlighting and she will get maximum press coverage. It's not that she doesn't get it now, but still, it was so beautiful to see her. So while one is opening, and while one is baptizing a ship, getting honors, the other one is walking outside garbage, except like Meghan Markle looking all disheveled and truly delist. Meghan Markle, it's really rough looking, guys. I don't care whichever way you look at it. But today I wanted to talk to you about something that really has me going, and I'm trying not to rant about it because, mantra, I've decided to take a different approach. But never mind that the kids and that fake belly, never mind that people are still saying that 105 is California birth area code when it is not. But never mind that. Let's let that slide, because that has raised questions, but nobody wants to answer those questions. And now we have in the Daily Mail this woman accusing us of harassing Meghan about the baby bump. Why didn't she bring up the birth area code instead? Because that's actually a more factual thing. And this is one of the things that drive me crazy. Why doesn't this woman point out to the birth area code that belongs to Colorado? Now, we're going to talk about the fraud, because everything about these two is fraud, because I've been made aware that in Colorado, the mother, if you use a surrogate, the name of the surrogate never appears in the papers, only at the hospital. But in the hospital, in a separate document. That's what I was informed. Please correct me if I'm wrong. So in the certificate of live birth, Meghan Markle would have appeared as the mother, even though there would have been a separate document to register the woman who actually gave birth. But I don't know if I'm being informed correctly, so please correct me if I'm wrong, which would make sense why Meghan Markle would have the surrogate in Colorado. And let's not forget that Harry was in Aspen 2 months prior, and he's been traveling a lot to Aspen. So, and also for the Aspen Institute, which is insane. So to the topic on hand here. Kate Middleton and Prince William are two of the Time 100 philanthropy honorees for 2025. Harry and Meghan Markle are nowhere to be found. Archibald is still delinquent, even though they were taken out of the delinquent list. As of this morning, they still have not filed the 2023 income tax returns to the IRS, which they should have. We're in 2025. So I'm surprised that she's allowed to get away with this. And this is a very common thing and a recurring theme with people like Harry and Meghan Markle, that they're allowed to get away with breaking the rules. And this is why people say, why don't they stop? Because they're allowed to get away with stuff. Meghan Markle, and please go watch my live with Scott from the behavior panel yesterday, because that is one question that has us all puzzled. Why are these two idiots, or people like them, like Blake Lively? If I were Blake Lively, I would issue an apology saying, you know what, I misinterpreted. We know she didn't, but in order to save face, I would say I misinterpreted things. I apologize to Wayfair. I apologize to Justin Baldoni. I really did misunderstood their behavior. I was hormonal. I just gave him birth. Blame it on whatever, but you should pack and fold and leave, but no, they double down. So this is what I talked about it with Scott yesterday, why narcissists are unable to say sorry. So this article comes out that the Prince and Princess of Wales have made the top 100 philanthropists a list of modernizing what philanthropy is. And what do we get, guys, the very next day? And this is what really bothers me, because these charities lend themselves to the grift. I don't feel sorry for this charity, because this charity is lending itself to the grift. Prince Harry gives a significant sum to city charity. A charity in Nottingham says it has received a significant donation from the Duke of Sussex, HIMA, which works to tackle racism and poverty in the city, has received an undisclosed sum from Prince Harry, which will be used to fund 650 food parcels for vulnerable families. Now, parcels, you're thinking of baskets, right? No, it's a meal. So we're looking at 650 meals. That's less than $8,000. Not even. What is worse is that this is the BBC, guys, that's putting out this false information, which really drives me insane, because why don't they do journalism anymore? The Duchess of Sussex made a $10,000 donation to the charity in 2020. When I saw that, my ears perked up and said, wait a minute, back up the truck. Meghan give money in 2020? No, because people forget that they left sometime in 2020, and in March 2020, that's when they announced Brexit. Saeed Mohammed, director of the charity, said, to have been chosen by such a high-profile royal once is amazing, but to have been supported by Prince Harry too left us completely gobsmacked and hugely humble. This is what the guy just came out and said, that Meghan is such a high-profile royal. Meghan is not a high-profile royal. She's not even a royal. She's not allowed to use the HRH. The Queen made it very clear that they were not to use the HRH. And that is not a negotiation. That was not a request. That was not an agreement. That was an order. It was put in writing by Her Majesty the Queen. The Queen doesn't request. The Queen orders. So they were not supposed to use, they're not HRH anymore in public nor private. They still keep it, but they're not to be recognized as such. Yet this man is coming out here saying these things. Now, it's very important for you to understand that this donation was made back in January. Yet they hold on to these things, like little rats, to see when they can pull it out. Now we see why Meghan Markle was going around LA like and giving hugs, much needed hugs, or send that Billie Eilish t-shirt that was so cringe to watch. Was that really charity or vanity that she did that? Why didn't she? I mean, she was so cheap, she couldn't even buy the freaking shirt herself. Oh, this girl likes Billie Eilish. Never mind that her whole house burnt down and she probably needs a washer and dryer more than the t-shirt, Because, okay, she gets the t-shirt, she wears them. Where is she going to wash them? I'm asking you guys, where is she going to wash the bloody t-shirts? Because I don't even know anymore. So, as I said, my ears perked up. And then he says, in a letter to the charity, Prince Harry said, Nottingham holds a special place in my heart, having had the privilege of visiting and supporting the community there for over a decade when he was a working royal. The incredible work of Hima does to address food insecurity, poverty, and social blah, 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 blah. And the guy goes and says it's life-changing. 650 meals are life-changing. Okay. We'll go with that. But then, as I said to you, you know that I don't let things slide because I remembered in 2020 this happened. And then we go from the very same charity. What you're watching here is the very same charity when they posted this. Meghan Markle helps Hima charity with 10K donation. Underneath, it says the Duchess of Sussex has donated 10,000 from, and I'm going to read it very slowly because I love it. I love it when I do this. From the Royal Foundation to local charity Hima, a Hyson Green community project that tackles poverty, racism, and social exclusion. Keep in mind that the Royal Foundation had been supporting the charity for a while now. What happens is here, once Meghan joined the royal family, they gave her task. So the Royal Foundation, what they would do is they divide the work. Okay, you go to this event, you go to that event, but it's always from the Royal Foundation. So this was not Meghan Markle choosing Hima because Hima had been working with the Royal Foundation for a while. So they said, we're going to donate and you, Meghan Markle, are going to be in charge of giving that. So and they say that, but they go, Meghan Markle helps Hima charity with 10K donation. Why didn't they say Her Royal Highness back then? They called her Meghan Markle. Okay? It is absolutely insane. It's like the Grenfell Towers thing. Now she's adjudicating the cookbook as though she created it herself. No. The whole thing with the Grenfell Foundation, guys, because the Grenfell Towers, they burnt. It was a horrible thing for those of you in the U.S. who don't know. It burnt down. It's horrible. So many people died. Adele was there helping a lot. It was just a horrible thing that happened. Even the Queen and Prince William went and paid a visit. When, of course... and then they assigned Meghan, said, we're going to give Meghan this assignment, give her something to do. But no, she took over and then she took credit for something that was not hers. She would show up with her skanky weaves and hair. She would not even use a hairnet while these people were actually cooking. She would try to boss them around and tell them what to do. And these ladies do know how to cook and she doesn't know how to cook for shit. And these ladies were writing the book, which was financed by the Royal Foundation. And then Meghan insisted on doing a foreword. It's how it's called. But it's not her book, but now she's taking the credit for it, and that's part of her CV, in spite of the fact that it was a Royal Foundation-led initiative. When are they going to put that in? This is now why the palace has clapped back. William is livid because you don't muck about with us. They stole, because this is what Harry and Meghan did. They stole money from the Royal Foundation. How did they steal it, you're going to say? Because the Royal Foundation, when it became clear for Prince William that Meghan was a skank, that is my opinion. I'm sure he didn't say a skank because he's a gentleman. But when he found out what this skank was appropriating funds or could be very detrimental to the royal family and the image, and they knew, and I'm sure they had her number pegged from the beginning, and they gave her an opportunity. They separated the charities, and the Royal Foundation gave about over 150,000 pounds to Sussex Royal to set up their foundation. What did they do? They set it up all right, and then they changed the name to MXW, and then they transferred the money. They shut down Sussex Royal, they shut down MXW, and then they transferred it to Travelist, which is Harry's private organization, which is not charitable. There was a charity investigation. The Charities Commission investigated, and they refused to continue investigating. They came to the conclusion that Harry and Meghan and the Sussex Royal, they did a very shoddy job with the funds they received. And they shouldn't have used them like that. But that's where they left it. Had it been any other charity, they would have gone after it because they had no receipts on how they spent the money. They basically took it and run and put it on Travelist, which is Harry's pocket. It went directly to Harry's pockets. No, there's not one single decent bone in Harry and Meghan. What a great job Buckingham Palace did of disguising the true nature of Prince Harry. I mean, we can all see it here, can we? I mean, sometimes I wish this were true, guys, because boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, it's terrible. So give me your thoughts and tell me why this charity is now praising Harry. Why didn't they praise him in January for an less than $8,000 donation? And why are they praising now? Why is the BBC saying that Meghan Markle donated the money when it was the Royal Foundation? It's just like Meghan Markle sprinkling shit all over the place, you know? It's like, at what point? At what point, really? I am 56 years old. I swear to you guys, I am wearing my chapstick. Today, I am wearing my chapstick. Okay? Look at him. Wearing my chapstick and some mascara. Nothing more. And, okay, I'm going to move here a little bit so I can post this picture with Meghan Markle. This is a woman with the best access in the world to the best products. She has had a lot of cosmetic shit done. And I am sorry to say, but she looks really, really old. I think she looks older than me, rough. She looks roughed up. I'm going to show you a picture, and I'm showing you a picture of me at her same age, 43 years of age. That's me. No cosmetic surgery, nothing. This woman is roughed up. And I'm sorry I'm being petty, but she brings it out on me. You know, I just can't help it because she's just so nasty. So, yeah. So let me know what you think. I don't feel sorry for this charity, and I think that this charity should get backlash for this because no, this is not right. And do right to the IRS, beautiful people, because I, for one, have had enough. Let me know what you think.